Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to the southern wing of the Stink Bug Works. It looks like the manufacturer is getting exactly what he wants. Lots of exposure on the Swifter. First order of business. The Speedmaster 21 strut is available from Blazer Marine. No, he doesn't have bushings. However, you can make your own bushings for Speedmaster hardware with quarter inch and what would that be, 7/32 brass tube. And you just take a 7/32 brass tube and drill a bunch of holes along it, and then put a quarter inch by, maybe 1/8 inch sleeve over it at one end to keep it from moving around. And bingo, it rides inside your stuffing tube. Which gets me to my next point of discussion. I have a big box full of virgin and slightly used K&S tubes, and most of them are still in their little cardboard wrappers. And I'm thinking, I got a quarter inch tube in there, and I certainly do, but I don't have any brass ones. And since the tube actually acts as the outer bearing for the Speedmaster strut, it has to be brass. Aluminum won't work. So I have a brass stuffing tube on order. Here's my plan for the stuffing tube, and follow me on this. This will be good for you guys doing a stuffing tube. I have the angle of dangle of my motor right here in my hand. Why, it's this piece right here. That's the angle of dangle of my motor. And I also know what flat is. That's this part of the mount. So I'm going to transfer this angle of dangle to a piece of paper, and I'm going to use that as a guide in bending my stuffing tube. And the cool thing about Speedmaster hardware is it rides the stuffing tube rides the entire depth of the strut, minus that little band that you put on the bushing. So you can make it overly long, oversized your stuffing tube. You can make it overly long, get it in the boat, and then cut it to length to where, it works. And that's sort of going to be my plan. I'm going to take a 12-inch piece. I'm going to heat it in this area right here, quench it rapidly, very carefully, put this much bend in it over about that much distance. So it'll be a nice gentle bend. And then I can establish where it will go through the hull pretty easily. It's going to go through the center somewhere. And so all I really need is a distance here, and the pre-bent and the nature of my bend, whatever it is, if it's this much bend or that much bend, will determine where this hole goes, such that when it's done, I don't have anything flat here. When it's done, it will be that high off the bottom of the deck. Or I guess that would be the top of the tunnel. I put a through hull hole in my rudder bracket. Now, the Speedmaster rudder bracket gives you this nice 3/8 of an inch hole. Now, 3/8 of an inch is just a few thousandths smaller than 10 millimeters. So what I did was I drilled out the transom, step drilled it larger and larger and larger and larger till I got real close to that 3/8 in there, and I didn't want to drill this piece of metal here when I was doing that, so I very carefully made sure that I was cutting only fiberglass. And then finally at the end, I took a 10 millimeter reamer and went through the mounting bracket and the transom and have now a perfectly aligned hole reamed. And then I took one of these little bellows that just happens to be 10.00 millimeters and plug that little guy in there, and there I am. I used a conventional clevis here just to get the distances this way to work. That's how this piece of equipment is designed. It's designed to have that kind of clip on it, and you'll take up any rotation and otherwise up at the other end. But that's a nice, simple, clean way to do it. Is that? Oh. Here's the little Mozilla 400. I think this one's going to go to the paint shop and become the 61 or 62 Porsche RSK out at Riverside International Speedway. And you know what? I can fix that little chip right there. There's a little chip in the gel coat. I'll fix that. So this thing will go to silver with white round rolls with the racing number on it and maybe a little Porsche logo on it. So this will be proper German livery. Until next time, boys and girls, jet out. Come on. They've made this button